a very beautiful day, and I bid you a warm welcome to the studios of Poly TV, Laro. It's time once again for newspaper review and analysis. I'm Femi Afolabi, and I'm being joined in the studio by the veteran journalist, veteran broadcaster, Baba Agbalagba himself. I call him the professor. You're welcome, Mr. Dejadiemi.
Thank you very much. I only wonder if the professor and Mr. They can lie.
Don't worry. I choose to call you anything I want to call you.
Okay.
So long I don't malign you.
All is well. All is well. Thank you.
You're welcome once again.
Thank you.
Mr. Demi, in a few days from now, especially since the last 2 days, we've been seeing some kind of advertorial from some major newspapers and bordering on what is happening between the former Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, and of course the governor of Kwara State. Is a back and forth concerning how and what happened after the robbery incident, and of course the outcome of the litigation, the court case that happened in Abuja a few days on it. And the Vanguard newspaper this morning titled a story, "Press Statement of a Robbery, the false claim by a desperate drowning governor." Yesterday, the Kwara State government had a press release published in some newspapers alleging to the fact that Dr. Bukola Saraki was complicit, was not very innocent about what happened during the robbery incident. Of course, the court has adjudicated on that case and he was exonerated. Now, Kwara State government was saying, no, he still has case to answer. This morning, the former Senate president has answered in response to that, and the title is "The Drowning of a Desperate drowning governor." I don't like the back and forth.
Well, the fact remains that the incident will go down in the annals of Kwara and of a town by itself as a Black Friday, when these young minds and criminally minded ones, for that matter, when they invaded the bank there. And then some people were killed and all the rest of it. It was a very, very sad thing. And then, of course, going back to the swift response of the police, they actually went to work and brought into arrest the people who perpetrated the act. Then it was said that maybe their kingpin or one of them was an aide to Senator Saraki. Well, the fact remains that they were duly prosecuted and they were accordingly punished, let me put it that way, sentenced to life imprisonment and all the rest of it. Now they are coming up, the governor Abdulrazak is coming up with all this. I think it's just a distraction. I think it's a distraction. What they should be looking at is to jointly find a solution to the menace of insecurity ravaging that place now. Kwara State has become a focus of attention of terrorists. I don't like calling them bandits. And what they should do is to come together and just find a solution to let the people of Kwara benefit from peace, from development, and the rest of it. Anyway, I think the brickbat between the two of them is making no meaning to me. If it were that, of course, I doubt if the former Senate president would have encouraged people to go and rob a bank. I want to doubt that. He wouldn't do it. And then, of course, all these bad boys themselves, they are in the trail of politicians. You find them, in fact, this is their period. And of course, yes. So what happened was that at the time the incident happened, it wasn't the period of, it wasn't during an electoral cycle. So politicians use them, dump them. Of course, they go ahead and uh, do something else with the resources they might have garnered from working with politicians.
Okay, this back and forth between the former Senate President Dr. Saraki and the governor of Kwara State is opening up a public debate or a narration, uh, especially on jurisdiction of our law courts and of course the judiciary as it were.
Okay.
Because the Kwara State government was saying that case ordinarily should have been heard or tried in Kwara State, in Kwara, because the incident happened in Ofa, which is a part of the state,
Kwara.
not in Abuja, when the federal DPP exonerated Dr. Saraki of any complicity.
Yes, I want to think that it's the IGP who has the powers to arraign people or people at wherever, whatever, for them to have taken the case to Abuja. I don't see any big deal in that. Yes, there might be regulations about having the trial taking place in the where the source of the crime. But of course, I don't see anything sacrosanct about that. What we need is justice served, or is it being served? And if that is done, that left to me, it's the end that matters, not the means to the end.
Okay, let's go to discuss some political stories as written in the front page of a Guardian newspaper. Guardian today says APC risks internal crisis as governors hijack nomination forms. APC risks internal crisis as governors hijack nomination forms. Of course, that is the allegation that is making rounds now, because a few days ago or week, the president gave the saddle the responsibility of having seamless primaries to the governors as the leaders of the party in their respective states. Now the opposition, even within the APC, is now saying the governors has hijacked the process. They want to give nomination or to give credence to whoever they desire they see as aides, not just anybody that want to aspire. And people are saying this might open the APC as the biggest party as of now into some internal crisis.
That's true. The fact remains that APC needs to do something about their internal
Mechanism.
operations. There was the fact that, to start with, we were all saying, everybody is saying that they tend to have a head start compared to other political parties. But if they don't take care and work hard at it, there might be an implosion, in the sense that this kind of thing, people are looking at the fact that if you are a loyal and very committed party person, and you want to participate in all political activities or even electoral matters, you need to be taken into consideration. And we don't, so that we don't go ahead and build um, a kind of cohort whereby politics become an exclusive thing. It's meant to be all inclusive. People you are in politics who want to participate, then of course level playing ground should be made available. Um, and they don't have time. Some people are already saying that the issue of collecting nomination forms have become like the camel passing through the eye of the needle, and it shouldn't really be so. The presidential primaries of APC is 23rd of May. It's less than a month. People should now be preparing towards that, and not just and the other ones are just 1 week or 2 weeks behind. And what to find out, they ought to have, taken their forms, filling the forms, looking at, getting sponsors, getting guarantors, and all the rest of it. It doesn't. It's not just. It's not a weak thing. I remember that in some cases you may need about 21 people to sign a form, and you have to go right around to their houses, and of course with something. So, so what it means is that it's the governors are just playing. Some of them are playing God. And
Okay, still talking about that. You know when the defections was very ripe, when lawmakers from the National Assembly were defecting into APC from other political parties, most of them did that because they want to return to the National Assembly,
yeah,
because they want assurance of their seats. Now they are what do you call it? Their future, political future, is at the mercy of the respective governors, who ordinarily might have had personal relationship and of preference from maybe
yes,
the aides around him.
Mhm.
So don't you see that as the beginning of an internal crisis within the party?
It just well could be, because it's a give and take thing. Okay, I'm coming into your party with people, then of course I have to be settled. Let me put it that way. And if you are not going to do that, or if you are not going, you just even need to do it. There's no point in it's a give and take thing. I want to believe that the APC, in its wisdom, will quickly nip whatever tension that is brewing in the bud, such that they can run with what they have already. And don't forget, we are still waiting for the Supreme Court to answer ADC and PDP. And if they come together, who knows the powers that they can also throw into the ring.
Well, before we leave that discussion, let's quickly interrogate what may likely come out at the end of the day from all the political parties. I'm not talking about APC alone now.
Okay.
Let's look at the youth can run policy of the former government, propounded by late Muhammadu Buhari. Now
Not too young
to run. Now see what is happening now. The political parties are levying, they are placing a high amount of money on purchase of form. How many youth can, of course, guarantee or can muzzle off that kind of money to buy forms now?
It's just a pity. And they are not helping matters at all. I want to believe that. You see, we won't be having this set of leadership forever. Then how are you going to
encourage
young ones to come? But what we find is that in some cases now, their sons and daughters are already climbing the ladder under their guidance and influence. So it is just, let us have or prepare the youth that can really steer that can work for Nigeria in the future. The way it is now, 100 million naira for presidential, 50 for governorship, 30 for House of Reps or something.
That is in APC.
That's in APC. Well, I guess that there won't be any other party that will be.
Okay.
It can only be APC.
Okay. Let's. We're still talking politics, and we're still with the front page of a Guardian newspaper. There's a minor report. Jonathan meets Obi, others behind closed doors. Jonathan meets Obi, others behind closed doors. The alignment and consultations are still continuing. And of course, I know there was a time people were touting that former President Jonathan might be lured or persuaded to come into reckoning, to run in 2027. But at a point in time, that speculation was put to rest. So let me ask a specific question. What should be the role of Jonathan now? Because it's meeting with the politicians across the board.
I think he should just become a statesman and not engaged in partisan politics.
But don't forget that he's still a PDP carrying member.
Yes, he could be a PDP card carrying member. But of course, it is his actions that will position him as who we want him to be. Look, if he goes back to the polls today, he won't win anything. I can bet you that. Because there has been a lot of so much water has passed under the bridge. New actors have emerged, and so I don't see any. I would rather want to see him crisscross Africa and the world, solving problems or encouraging humanity.
Of course, that is what he's doing now.
Yes, instead of getting himself, embroiled in PDP, ADC, APC.
Okay. Let's discuss something else rather than politics. We're going to the front page of a Punch newspaper, and this borders on economy. Punch says jet fuel crisis. Federal government seeks 30-day credit window for airlines. Federal government seeks 30-day credit window for airlines. Of course, the crisis in the Middle East is deepening, and of course, the world is feeling it, and Nigeria inclusive. We're talking about the cost of fuel, cost of diesel, and all that. Now the airlines are crying. A liter of jet fuel now is about 2,000 naira per liter. And I read somewhere that a flight, no matter how small, we need 7 million naira cost of fuel between Lagos and
Abuja. Yes. Just one flight.
7 million naira.
It's about 7 million naira.
So they are crying to the federal government, and federal government is seeking 30-day credit window for airlines. Yes. That means they can have fuel supply and pay later.
Yes, that's the idea. But in the meantime, they have been, the stakeholders in the aviation industry have been meeting with the Minister for Aviation and Airspace Management, Barrister Keyamo, for quite some time now. Maybe in the past 3 weeks, so many of them they have been coming, and of course there's a need to really streamline, or at least let there be seamless operations in the aviation industry, because we cannot afford them to shut down, and they are really crying. And of course, yes, it is one will consider the fact that the Iran-US war negatively affects the prices of jet fuel and the rest of it. But in the meantime, there has to be kind of, when there are emergencies, government should be looking at subsidies. What I mean when I say subsidies, is not as if, or at least comfort for uh, operators of different sectors, like this issue of 30-day, uh, I mean, credit
Credit
window
window.
is good.
Mm.
And what you find out is that at whatever it means, nothing should, we should make sure that we sustain our aviation industry
Well,
because
while the jetliners are crying and while Nigerians are shouting about the cost of living and cost of fuel and whatever, and Dangote is smiling to the banks
I know
because
you come
because
to that.
because that story says jet fuel exports drive records margin for Dangote because he exports jet fuel.
The one is the anointed, is the anointed one. Yes,
Uh,
he is raking in the money, as it were, just like any other refiner in Europe and the rest of them. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. He invested and is, I mean, reaping his rewards. But don't think that it's just going to be. I mean, the moment the war subsides and the rest of it, it may not just be a free launch for him too.
well,
Once you revert to
by way of rounding up, time is not our friend, but I just want to mention this. And the front page of a Guardian newspaper, there's a minor report. Nigerian envoy condemns killing of two citizens in South Africa. For some days, South Africans have engaged other nationals, especially Nigerians, in kind of what you cannot imagine. The xenophobic attack is continuing. And I don't know, Nigeria is still playing the Big Brother thing.
I think we should just stop playing that Big Brother thing. And this thing needs a holistic approach in the sense that they'll have to look at it. What really is taking our people outside of Nigeria itself? If we sort ourselves out here, why go to South Africa to go and work where you know that somebody can kill you the next moment? Then let us fix our country and let our people stay here. And it's the same thing, even people who go yes, I can understand that individual preferences and choices and not the rest of it. But with even Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, was saying at an event that he will want immigrants to respect their laws and the rest of it. And anybody following the trends there, they will know that the South Africans, or some of them, are just not behaving right, especially with these xenophobic attacks and the rest of it. People Nigerians who are there are contributing to the economy of that place. And they need to be talked to by our own foreign affairs people here. And if it is not a thing, that let them just leave the place. There's no, Ghana is also happening there.
Exactly.
Even in Ghana now.
Exactly. Well, well said. You've heard it from the elder statesman, Mr. Adeyemi. Nigerians should just be up and doing and revisit our foreign policy, especially with South Africa. South Africa is not the only country that Nigerians travel to. That is not the only place that Nigerians apply their trade. But why attack on Nigerian every now and then? that is a concern for the government to do. I want to thank you sincerely for finding that to be here again.
Thank you for that. I'm glad.
That's the program this afternoon. We'll be back tomorrow with our fresh edition. Good afternoon.